Welcome to Late Night with Linda Rosa, where we get down to the arts of the matter. My darlings queridos, welcome y bienvenidos to Late Night with Linda Rosa, getting down to the art of the matter. Hello and welcome back to the show. Thank you so much. If this is your first time, bienvenido. Siéntate, grab a drink, have a good time. This is a good show. I love this show. I know I'm saying it because it's mine, but really, I really love this show. I believe it caters to everybody, even young folks, younger than me, because I'm not old, but you know what I mean. I'm happy you guys are with me. Again, your time and attention is super invaluable to me, and I can't thank you guys enough. And I hope that you guys enjoy the show, laugh a little bit. You know, this could be like your little late night cap, you know, with your partner or not. You know, a little late night safe zone where you can feel free to say anything. You're welcome to be open out here, and I'm just happy you're with me today. This is also, I wanted to remind you guys, please send me your questions, comments, anything to my email, latenightwithlindarosa@gmail.com. I'm still taking questions for the Layers to Linda segment. Then I would love to hear your questions and see what you want to talk about. Just keep in mind, I'm super unfiltered and I'm going to give it to you real. So please reach out. I would love to hear from you. And if you guys want to follow us, please follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. Late Night with Linda Rosa for everything. Please subscribe. There's a lot of things coming up and I can't wait to share it with you. So yeah, I hope to meet you guys. And for everyone who's stuck by me and still listening, gracias. And I also have my girl Evie with me today too, the guest co-host for this season. And I'm so excited. But today, let's talk about the topic of the week. This week, we're going to talk about the art of dealing with generational differences. And I'm going to elaborate on what that means, and then me and Eve are going to talk about it. Have you guys noticed the differences now and how things were? And I'm in my 30s, right? And even I noticed a difference. So imagine like teenagers and stuff. I mean, the differences of dating with generations, and how back then it was just courting. Literally courting. It was like serious. It wasn't like, oh, we're just gonna hang out. It was like courting. Like dating, you know what I'm saying? But now things are different. And you have to be the same way that if you have a job and you've been there for 20 years and every couple of years you got to take a new training or a new thing. I feel like that's the same way with life. You just have to constantly readjust. And I just feel like some people have difficulty with that, especially older folk, because if you're like in your 40s and 50s, you've been living the same thing, doing the same thing for a really long time and living the same way, especially if in culture. So it's more of like how do you manage these cultural differences, and how can you make it work for you and your loved ones? How do you intermingle these two? You know, have I finessed the entire art of it? No, because I have challenges with it too. Because sometimes I'm just like, man, we're in 2020, man, God, you know. But then I'm like, there's certain things that I don't want to let go. Traditionally, you know, culturally, you know, I don't want to let them go. So it's more of like let's kind of break this apart and figure out how we can deal with these generational differences to benefit all sides. You know what I'm saying? Because the things are really, really different. And you guys, a lot of people want to talk shit about older folks and, oh, you're just old. But you guys have to understand their lifestyle was completely different. And things seem to just be changing very, very fast. And sometimes it's hard to catch up. So it's kind of like us trying to give you a different perspective on different sides, you know, and especially with culture and things like that. So yeah, that's what we're going to talk about today. But before we do that, hello. Hi.
That's me.
Hi.
What's up?
Hi. How are you, boo?
I'm good. How are you?
Well, I'm great. We're going to talk about the art of dealing with generational differences, you know. I actually really, really, really would like the input from all of you guys, because generational differences also, I think, deals with culture. And I can't speak on all generational differences in all cultures because I am not that, you know. But I would love to know you know, how you guys deal with generational differences, because I'm pretty, like, I can't speak on ages because they have a completely different way of looking at things.
Yeah, but I think there's always one common factor, maybe slightly different, but there's always the one common factor.
Which?
That you respect your elders.
Oh, of course.
You know,
of
so
course.
generationally, no matter how old you are, no matter, that's like the number one. You respect your elders, and elders definitely have a very important role in all cultures, because they're the source. They're the people who passed on recipes and traditions, and they're the ones who enforce and live through the idea of what your family consists of, what your culture consists of. So having elders in your life and having elders in your family that you respect and look up to, and elders, you know, not necessarily only your grandparents, it also includes, you know, an aunt or an uncle or even a family friend that you grew up with, and them having that place, that sort of center pedestal in your life definitely allows you to tap into who you are now and who you were then, and sort of incorporate the two. So I think one common thing, no matter where you're from, you respect your elders.
You do. And I think people are losing that these days. I think there are people in general are losing a lack of respect, because I feel like people feel a sense of entitlement for like everything. And I mean, I'm not saying you can't feel a sense of entitlement, that's your business, but I'm just saying, you guys, the same way you guys feel entitled and that you feel people need to cater to you and cater to you and you and you and your needs and whatever, you guys have to understand that there's people that came before you and they didn't live this kind of life. And believe it or not, like I said before, they're trying to acclimate to the new age. You guys got to give people some time. I'm not gonna sit here and say all people who are older and generations before us are not transitioning more into the new age. I'm saying there's a bigger amount of older people who is just difficult. In our country, there's more selfish people than selfless people.
But you have to understand that that's definitely coming from a place of, in order to grow, you have to be selfish. There's so many people that they come from a world and they come from an idea that they have to give every part of them in order to help their family or friends or the people around them. And generationally before us, I feel like that was a thing. Like, you just broke yourself apart in order to keep things up and alive. But the generations now are like, no, I gotta fill my cup before I fill yours, so I have to be more selfish. And I think it's part of what's made so much progress, that I think in women empowerment and you know, when it comes to minorities and stuff, they become more selfish. It's not about the bigger picture anymore. It means that I got to take care of myself in order to prosper. And then now you see a lot more, you know, growth and representation and movement. So I think that's where it kind of comes from. But there's no cap, you know, like it's selfless through and through, instead of only up until I get to a point and then let me become selfless.
Right. Maybe I just have a certain love for older people because I worked in a nursing home at one point.
I love you,
you know, and I just feel bad because I sometimes see you never felt like the world is moving, but you're kind of just there. So I personally just feel bad, you know what I mean? Because what I mean about selfish is, I think people, like what you said, people are becoming selfish where they want to grow in things, which is fine. I'm not saying that you can't put time into you and in your life, because that's how I've improved. I took time to dig into myself and check my shit, and I was selfish then. But that doesn't mean that everybody else got left behind. I'm just saying I wish that there was more of a
happy middle.
A happy middle, yes. Like, I feel like sometimes people walk into shit and they expect you to cater to their generation.
That's a generational thing.
What do you mean?
Like, if you saying you think people expect you to cater to them and everything is about them and me. You think that's more of a generational thing? You think that the newer generation is more like that versus the old generation?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, that's what you meant. Yes. Sorry. Yes, that's what I mean. I feel like the new generation is more in the sense where it's kind of, I get that. I'm not shitting on that. I think we all need to be selfish sometimes, but I just feel like when it comes to their personal lives, when it comes to intermingling with their older generation, is more of like
to eye level with them.
Yeah, come.
Don't look past them.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You're leaving them behind. Like, abuela and stuff like that. Like she's not gonna come and chill out with you outside while you smoke a hookah. Like if you're gonna go visit abuelita, go visit abuelita.
Turn your phone off.
Yeah, turn the shit off and respect. Because this is what I'm saying. Like, I'm not saying that we cannot grow with the times. It's important to grow with the times. I'm just saying don't neglect the people that, even if they wanted to, the capability, it really isn't there.
Yeah.
Mentally, they just can't.
Yeah.
It's
really a struggle.
It's a struggle. Don't be telling, like, maybe your abuelita can use an iPhone, but not every abuelita could use an iPhone. So how are you gonna talk to abuelita? She wants to hear from you.
Yeah.
She wants to talk to you. She's the one that looked out and took care of you, or whoever, your tia, your abuela, your abuelo. People older than you, they want you in their life, but they can't. They've probably been catering to you and your generation your whole life. So now it's time for y'all to cater back. I'm not telling you to deal your life and you live like back then. I'm telling you, when you're there, be there. That's kind of what I wanted to get at, you know?
Yeah. And then you don't even have to go that far back. I mean, sometimes I'm talking to my mom and she's got an iPhone and she's like, how you do this and how you do that? And I'm trying to give her instructions over the phone and I feel myself getting frustrated, thinking like, come on, man.
2020, you know?
But it's like, you gotta take a step back. You gotta be like, this isn't something, we've had a screen in front of our face for the better part of our life, you know what I mean? So, yeah. I mean, it came later in my life. I didn't have it when I was little, but later, it still comes much easier to me than it does to her. And
you can easily adjust to it.
And then, and I give her credit for trying to be with the times, because she understands that it's part of her progress, it's part of her being able to still be a woman that's working and stuff, so you have to stay with it. So I give her the credit for trying, but I do find myself getting really frustrated. I do find myself saying, and then I gotta take a breath. I gotta take a breath because, like you said, you have to try to meet them in the middle, you know?
Yeah, because that's what I'm saying. Like, your mom is not staying with that. I'm in no way, shape, or form saying that every single old person or older or generation has to acclimate to this. I'm simply saying your mom, at these times, my mom has a cell. Old people, 80, 90 years old, got a cell. But they probably got a basic-ass cell phone. So that's what I'm saying. That's a perfect example of what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
you gotta chill for a minute. And believe it or not, you're old. You're kind of like the only thing they got, in a sense. Like, who you think that if they go to the telephone store, that you can guarantee, you may find a really good customer service, but can you guarantee that someone from that store is going to stay and stand there with this older person to help them? No, they got customers. So who do you think they're going to go to? And then they go to you and you're over here getting fucking pissed. That understanding generational differences is important, because to me it means you're being more patient and welcoming. And the same way that these older people, the older generation, has to acclimate to ours, we kind of got to acclimate to theirs, in a sense, because that's how they communicate. They live off of that. Now, there are some good things in generational differences when it comes to damn near everything. I mean, I like the fact that women are becoming more empowered than back then. I mean, back then you had Rosa Parks and, people like that, and it was one in how many, but now it's like women are joining forces, and I know that that's another difference in our generation.
Let me ask you something.
What's up?
We were talking about, where I mentioned that one of the base similarities, no matter what culture you're from, is to respect your elders. Now, how do you feel about these kids squaring up with adults? Like, you can't talk to me like that, you and my mom, blah, blah, blah. Where do you draw the line between respecting your elders and putting somebody in their place? Because there's some older people
disrespectful as fuck. Some older people
out of pocket, and you gotta be like, Senora.
Well,
very respectfully, I'm gonna tell you, mind your business.
that's how I would handle it. So with that, I think there's a very, very fine line, because the same way that these older folks could be disrespectful, these young folks, fuck.
They got a mouthful.
I feel like this Generation Z, are the ones that I feel like are gonna make a bigger difference, because they're more vocal. They're more like, vamos, vamos lo que vinimos. They're more educated. They're more like gun ho about shit. But it works against them a little bit because of that. And I'm not in any way, shape, or saying, I'm not saying that all people from older generations are all respectful. No, there's some disrespectful motherfuckers, and they also feel entitled because they're older, and then they feel like they could disrespect you because they're older,
and that be making me crazy,
and that be making me mad as shit. However, you ask me how I deal with it, I deal with it. It should depend on the situation, the reason, and their actions and attitude towards me.
Yeah, because a lot of the older generation, they're blunt.
Very.
They come from a generation where
they insult you nicely,
but they also come from a generation where the words that we are like, you said what, we're fine, and now they're saying it because it's from they haven't really evolved with the time. So like you got to try to find what they really trying to say to you. Especially when the older ladies are asking me like when I'm gonna have kids,
yeah,
when I'm married, when I'm doing this, when I'm doing that, and it's which is also part of generational differences. These expectations, and how would I deal with someone from an older generation that came at me crazy? First of all, you mean like if I was like younger, or you mean like today? Not right now.
Like right now? Well, I'm a whole ass grown ass woman. So you will show me some respect. Now, if you want to tell me something like you old, you ain't got no kids or something, I don't know. The reason why, so I have patience for older folks. I have a special love for older folks, So certain conversations, even if you really want to be mad, in my head I'm like, she about 75 years old. That's probably how they talk to their kids back then. I'm not gonna get mad. I mean, she's not insulting me.
I feel like that's where your job is to merge the gap with it. Be like, oh my God, that's funny, but maybe next time.
But that's what I'm saying. No. But that's what I'm saying. I'm not gonna come at her or him. And be angry like why you talking to me like?
Yeah, I got you.
No. Let them say what they want to say. And then you give them your piece so you can teach them about that generational gap. You understand?
The generation after us would probably come out crazy with them.
Yeah.
And, we are right in between it, so we have a little more finesse.
I feel like we're blessed.
We are.
I feel like we're blessed. I feel like the 80s. I feel like the 80s babies are the best babies. We are the winners
of both.
Yeah, we got a mix. So I think that's why we're good at being able to maneuver both. Because I could talk to an 18-year-old and they got me, and I could talk to an 80-year-old, they got me. And I feel like being born in, because I feel like our generation was the last generation to have like
solid people.
Because like I feel like I'm living the new generation doing all of this, but I could sit there with somebody who's 80 and cater to that no problem. Yeah. And that's what I'm talking about.
It definitely is something that it is interesting to see the differences between the two, and also just how astonishing it can be. Like sometimes these younger kids start talking, and my eyes just open up. I'm like, you said what now? You talking to who? That's your mom? That's crazy.
Yo, let me tell you something. That's another one. Let's talk about that shit. My mother and father. I love my parents. I do. But let me come at mom crazy. Let me come at I am XYZ years old. Let me come at my mother crazy. At this age, my mom will still rock my motherfucking ass. And you're low key. And you know why she would win? Because I would never touch her. So,
I'm scared.
I'm not touching my mom's. That's my mom.
My mom, I think, maybe spanked me once. But then she started doing the death stare, and that was it. That was all I needed. I
was a really, really, really quiet and shy kid. I really was. Like, you guys, if you saw me when I was like 5 or 6 or 7 or 12, 13, you would be shocked that I'm doing this. Because I was very shy, very quiet, went to Catholic school for most of my educational life. I was one of those little quiet, and now I'm like, but when I'm a kid, so kids fuck up. And I'm telling you, man, the times I remember that I got rocked, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, to this day, I'm not, and this is the thing, that's my mom and my dad, like.
Not my dad. My dad, here's my finger, had him wrapped right around it. But my mom don't give a fuck. My mom like, you want a what?
What? So, and it's just like, my mom knows that she could get me because she knows I would never touch her. You know what I mean? That's my mom, But I'm very surprised to see how some of these younger folks treat and speak to their parents. That's a huge difference. Even now, even if I was to meet your mom or something, even though I'm like this with you, if I meet your mom, I'm like so hecha derecha. Hola, ¿cómo está, señora? Mucho gusto. Like and then you know why? You know why? Because I remember we were really, really young, and tell me if y'all know this is legit, right? When we used to go out with the friends, we knew, like, if we're going to hang out, we need to make sure that our parents know that we're good girls. Yeah. So, the way that we are, like, in the room or the mall, like, bugging out, I knew that if you come to my house to meet my mom or I'm going to your house, we have to be proper. Because moms will hit you with the con juicio, no se alboroten, no se pongan de loca. So, it's a level, my family taught me a level of respect. So, even today, if I meet a parent, I don't give a shit. I'm giving you the utmost respect. Hi, ¿cómo está? And I'm never coming to your house empty-handed. I'm bringing something. You know? And like, for example, like dating. Huge difference. Back then, there was no dating online, no social media. There weren't so many filters. People met you, they fucking met you. That's what it was. And the meeting people was a little bit more natural. You didn't have to, people were busy, but it wasn't insane where you didn't have the time to go on a date. When it comes to generational differences, if I had to choose dating then and dating now, for some reason, I would choose back then. Because I feel like, I'm not mad about how you can meet people online and you see another aspect of people, but I just feel like there was a more natural way.
I'm with you. Like the overall idea of it, I'm more
the courting.
But I think that maybe not right now because everything is like so internet dating driven. Yeah. Like you barely meet people in person. But I think it's liberating that you can meet someone now. And yeah, the courting is not quite the same or whatever, but you can be more true about who you are than before. I think before there was so much pressure in the dating world to be a perfect. Like, the conversation piece was like, how good of a wife are you going to be? Yeah. And it's like
the chivalry, I feel like it's limited now. It's not the same.
There's less attention to detail.
Yes. Yeah, perfect. Thank you. That's what I'm trying to say. I feel like there was more como cariño. There was more emphasis put in making her know, like, you the man. You know, and I feel like now it's more like, I look good too. You look good, yeah, but I look good too. Like, it's more like you gotta kind of treat a man like a chick sometimes. And I'm just like, I'm not into that. What I'm saying is more like, I want you to call me more than you text me. I want you to take me out more than you FaceTime me. Yeah, like, and the thing, what I liked about back then, dating, you know, in older generations, is that, because I'm a very spiritual person, I'm very in tune, I'm very like, I don't just look at your eyes, I look beyond the eyes, you know what I'm saying? And I just like the fact that there was more personal interaction. Okay. And I got to know you, you know, as opposed to me having to read about you all the time. And these are things that you want me to know. As opposed to me being with you and being like, I can say that I know you, as opposed to, well, I read his profile. Yeah. Now, I'm not shitting on it. Dating online is, there's benefits. Yeah. But it would be nice to kind of just have a more medium, or kind of just bring a little bit more back from that older generation. What I think is really, really great is a man who shows chivalry to others, even around you. You know, when I look at a man, I don't just look at him. I look at how he treats people, how he is with others, how he interacts with others. Because the thing is, how he treats me is because he might want to smash. He wants to date. So he's going to show me his best. And I'm not saying I'm going to spy. I'm just saying I pay attention to interactions when I'm around. It says a lot about a man, how he treats other people. So I pay attention. When people say that foreplay starts in the morning, that's what I'm talking about. It's not about if you can touch me the right way. It is, but that's not the main factor. That's not the first thing that turns me on. It's not. It's the energy. It's chivalry. It's a gentleman. It's and even how he dresses. Like, I'm not into I might get flack for this. I'm not into a dude that puts his pants under his ass. Like the saggy pants, I'm not into that.
That's still a thing?
Some guys still do that. Oh. Like, if you was like, nah, I've seen some grown ass men still do that, and not even under their ass, but like low, and like I don't know what it is about a man that has the cintura with fit, like he's got like the belt buckle with the, like, I'm not talking about looking like a whole ass cowboy. I'm talking about like hecho y derecho, like a You know, there's something so like sexy about a man that knows how to dress like a
iron
man.
shirt.
Iron shirt.
Put a belt on.
Clean nails. Got clean manicure nails. And I'm not talking about with the clear. I don't. Some girls like that, so I'm not gonna tell y'all not to do that.
But she doesn't.
I
so
don't
when
get
you
it.
go in there, make sure you don't have no.
But I don't know what that is. I don't know why people do that. The clear thing, like. You don't have to do that, y'all. I don't know. It's weird. It confuses me a little bit. I'm like, and I sound ignorant. Oh, so man can't wear nail polish. I'm just saying it doesn't do anything for me. If anything, I'm looking at it like, so you paint your nails? Because you're still painting your nails, even if it's clear. And like maybe if you put, I don't know. But it's weird.
That's where you draw the line. Like, you could get the manicure, but don't get the top
yeah,
coat.
like, there's not much I can tell you other than to close the gap in these generational differences. You guys have to understand that they lived in a completely different world.
Yeah. And
you're living in a completely different world.
And there's something that, I'm sorry to interrupt you.
Go ahead.
History tends to repeat itself, so it doesn't hurt to be familiar with the way things used to be. Because it always comes back around. And there's so much good in the past. There's also a lot of bad. But in history, if we educate ourselves, we don't make the same mistakes twice. And we can take the good and the bad and move it on forward. So I think merging the gap is important.
I think there's generational differences at work too, because when somebody been working for 30 years in the same place, it's very hard to train them to do anything else. So what do? People get really frustrated because some people don't want to learn, but this is what you do. You go in slow. You go in calm. You have to, if someone's been working somewhere for a really long time, first thing you want to do is show them respect, because at the end of the day, even if they're shitty workers, they're still loyal to that workplace, and they may be able to do something for you or work with you in a way that they might be effective in a way that you weren't. So you want to give them that respect, and then you want to be like, hey, let me show you something. I think it's hard for people that been working in the same place to take direction or a new direction, because one, you're younger, two, it's different, three, you get nervous or you're fearful of, and then four, it's a lot of change. And by them agreeing to one change, they feel like they're agreeing to all change. You know what I'm saying? So there's a way to approach these things. You know what I'm saying? I feel like
gotta know when to. That saying, you don't have to fix what's not broken.
Yeah, no, right.
Like, it's a process that still works.
Mm-hmm.
Just because it's not familiar to you, and just because it's not like tech, like savvy and forward. Like sometimes the old way is the way. Yeah, but I'm saying when the time comes, and you have, as a leader, you have to teach, you have to lead, you have to change. There's some things that they do have to learn. I get that part, and I'm not disagreeing with that, because dead ass, I've been in situations where I'm like, I don't even know why we did this shit. We should have did it this way. It's easy. But there's certain points where it is inevitable, and they have to be able to learn. Like, what if you work in a bodega, and first you're using the old school cash machine, and you've been in for 30 years, and now there's a new owner, and the new owner says, I know you've been here for 30 years, but now we're going to use iPads. Yeah. So what I'm telling y'all is, don't get frustrated to the point where you want to let somebody go because they're not there. You have to understand that if somebody been somewhere for 15, 20, 30 years, they know one way. How you approach them is going to make the difference. You have to approach it like, I'm not here to be your, I'm not here to, run your shit. I'm not here to make it difficult. It's just that this is part of the growth of the business. And I would really love for you to learn this, because I love how you work. I really enjoy having you as an employee. And I really think that if you learn this, it would make you and the business more effective. Like, there's a way to do things, as opposed to, well, if you don't like it, then you can go. You've been here 20 years. You can't, there's a way, guys. Just be a little bit patient. If you're training somebody and they're like, well, this is how we do it here, and their way is literally more effective, let it go. Some battles you don't need to have, let it go. It's not necessary to argue with somebody when what they're saying literally makes more sense. I'm not disagreeing with you at all. I'm talking in terms of, it's inevitable. You got to change it. Yeah. You've been here for 20 years and you still show up to work? Because it takes a lot.
It's loyalty.
It takes a lot.
And I could only imagine the amount of stories they have what they've learned.
Oh, I love listening.
I love listening to their stories, and I honestly,
I love listening to the stories of when they first started to where they're now, like how they got their job.
And I love hearing like the differences, and believe it or not, that was another reason why it was hard for me to want to transition, because I love that the history, the people, the stories they tell you. You can really learn a lot from someone that's been somewhere for 10, 15, 20, 30 years. You can really learn. They'll give you the real deal about that business, whatever it is. And I just love that connection and having that. And believe it or not, a lot of them really want to help you. Yeah. But I think the problem is the approach of the new generation. Your approach may not be effective. A lot of people that have been somewhere for 30-some years, some of them don't even get seen. They're not even noticed because they've been there so long. Acknowledgement matters. And acknowledgement doesn't mean thank you, you're amazing, you're a constant compliment. No, it's saying, I see you. Thank you for your help. There's nothing wrong with thanking people and giving them credit, even when whatever they did was basic and simple. Even if this is something that they do every day, there's nothing wrong with thanking people. People don't thank enough, and people don't hear it enough. Acknowledgement matters. I'm not talking about validation and critique. I'm talking about acknowledgement. You said that when you came in, you always said hello to everybody. And I do the same thing. And people are like, yo, every time I see you say hello, you smiling. I'm acknowledging you. The way that we acknowledge people is a representation of ourselves. And believe it or not, it got to the point whenever somebody would see me, they automatically smile and say hello, even if they see me 4 times. Why? Because that's what I do. So all I'm saying is to shorten this gap takes time. And the issue is that people feel like there's always a lack of time. There isn't. There's plenty. It's not about having the time. It's about making the time. Today's artist of the week is one of my most favorite people, and I can't wait to tell you why, is Miss Tamika. Hi. Welcome. Thank you for having me. I can't tell you how excited I am. And let me just I'm gonna rant. I don't want to call it a rant. I'm gonna
let the Lord use you.
Yes. What is it when you go to church and you start speaking?
It's the Holy Spirit.
Yes, I'm gonna let it take. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you how I met Tamika, though. Obviously, I know Tamika from K Bonner events. My sisters.
Yes.
Right? And okay, low key, I'm actually really proud that our entire team has been with KBE
for many years.
Many years. I don't think we have one person and it's I'm not saying it's not okay to be new. I'm just saying like we've held that together for years. Like when I tell you when we family, saying we're family. So let me tell you guys how I first met Tamika. I'm gonna try not to get emotional because Tamika, you know when you walk into something new, the first things you see kind of affects how things work out for you, or it gives you like an inkling as to how it's gonna be in the future. And it was my very first wedding I ever had. I was brand new. I knew that I like to put things together, blah blah blah. Long story short, it was my first wedding, first event ever with a real company. And I was terrified. I was like a new kid in school. I bought a new dress. My aunt did my hair. I was like, Tia, I'm going to go to a wedding. I need to look good. And she did it was like a huge deal for me. And I was terrified. I had gotten there before Tamika, like a few minutes before. So Keisha had said, oh, go upstairs, blah, blah, blah. So finally Tamika made it. And she goes, oh, she's on her way. Long story short. And let me tell you why it affected my whole KB experience. Because the first thing Tamika did when she met me was give me a hug. There was no question. There was no, who are you? You know how when people new come into the crew, you be checking them like, oh, you're the new one? Okay. It was like I went to go see Tia and she just welcomed me with a hug. Like I was waiting for her to pull out a plate for me. Like she made me feel so welcome and loved. And I was like, I want to be here. This is the team I want to work for. You represented that brand so well. You set the tone for what I thought KBE, K Barner Events, you represented what I wanted to see. I wanted to be a part of something amazing, and that hug alone was everything, and everybody can agree. If you're watching this video now, or you're listening to the podcast, anybody that knows Tamika Bracken knows she gives the best hugs. In the whole team, she gives the best hugs. Fight me, KBE. And in general, in my life, I'm not going to lie to y'all, I put it on my mother's life. There's been moments where I'm like, man, I wish I could get a Tamika hug. I swear, I've hit you up and said, Tamika, I need you to pray for me. Like, yes, you have the most pure heart. It's like when Tamika loves somebody, it's free love. It's not, I love you because you have, and I love you because you don't have. I love you because you are. And I admire, and I've always looked up to Tamika because regardless of everything, challenges you've gone in your life, that we've all been, supportive of each other with all of our struggles as a family. Your faith never breaks it. You've never questioned God that I know of. Your faith has seen you through, and you've proven it with your life and your journey. And you inspire me. You inspire me to not give up on my faith. And you inspire me to just keep going. Just try. Just try. No, for real, you do. In your artistry, you are so creative. This woman does it all. I'm trying to talk fast because I can't wait to get into this. Tamika's story of her life, of her artistry, and what she does for people through her artistry is inspiring. Tamika's the kind of person you want on your team, because not only is she extremely talented, I don't even know if you could see some of it, and this is nothing compared to everything she's done and what she's creating. Not only are you insanely creative, you're blessed, your creativity hits like like you just come up with stuff off top. It is insane. But the love, I'm not looking at you dead in your eye because I know you're gonna make me cry. So I'm trying not to look at you. The love you put into what you do, I taste it, I see it, and I feel it. And you can't say that about a lot of people. Try me. Okay? It's really like you're saying you're happy to be here, but it's really an honor that you're giving me some of your time.
Oh, thank you.
Because it's like, first of all, there's been times where I'm like, I don't know what I would do without my girls in KBE.
We are definitely sisters.
We're sisters.
Tight-knit family.
Yeah, and it ain't no perfect family, but I'll do it. I'll ride for my girls.
Right, we're like sisters from another mister.
That's it. You know,
so ride together. Yeah,
absolutely. And I just want to, before we get emotional, let's get into Tamika. Pause. Let's do it. First, welcome.
Thank you for having me. I'm really blessed and honored to be here with my girl. I just want to say to you that I'm very proud of you. You're like my little sister, and I'm just so happy and blessed how God is blessing you and how God is opening doors for you. This is just the beginning for you, and I know that this is the stepping stone for more to come for you. So I just thank God for you, and I love you unconditionally.
Lord.
Now that we got the mushy out.
All right, so let's just get into your whole story. But first, because look, you started with event planning.
Yes.
You went from event planning to an amazing baker.
Yes.
To now you're creating just things that people didn't even know they wanted.
Right.
That's the thing. It's not like, oh, I know people want this. No, you just started to create. So how about we start with just a little bit about you, your story, and how this journey, this artistry, this artistic journey started for you.
Okay, well, my name is Tamika Bracken, and I'm a creative designer of edible art and home decor. My cake page is Sweet Loose Cake Studio, who I humbly named after my mom, who used to bake all the time. I named that after her. And now I do home decor, custom home decor through Jaybird Collections, which I named after my son because we used to call him Jaybird. So it's called Jaybird Collections, and I do custom home decor or, gifts for any special occasion. My cakes I started back in 2011, a year after my mom died. And I was home watching Cake Boss. And I was like, well, if he can do it, I can do it. So I went to Michael's. I had a bill to pay. And I said, you know what? I know this may be wrong, but I took the money for the bill and went and bought everything I needed from Michael's just to start. And I practiced for a month, and after a month, I got my first customer. And from that point, my business has been thriving. Now, for my paint pouring, which is Jaybird Collections, I actually started watching this lady her name is Karen Baxter. When I tell you Karen Baxter is the most awesome, phenomenal woman in the entire world. She is amazing at what she does. She is Ms. Creative CEO, and she helps women to become better entrepreneurs, better marketers for their business. And I tell you, ever since I've been following her, it's like this gift of home decor has been birthed in me. Being home during COVID, even though I was working from home, it's just like another gift that I did not know that was inside of me just birthed out. And when I started doing it, I couldn't stop. So it's like, not only do I have a love for baking and creating edible art, I have a love for creating home decor, which one day I will believe will be in, Wayfair or Home Goods or whatever. But it's just something that's naturally in me. And it's like, there's gifts inside of me that I didn't even know that I had that is coming out. So first, I thank God for the gifts, but I mean, I love what I do. I love it. It's like I can't stop pouring. I work a 9 to 5. When I get off, I'm paint pouring till about 11, 12 o'clock. Or I get off my 9 to 5 and I'm baking till 12, 1 o'clock in the morning because it's something that I love to do. It will be my full time one day, but as of right now, but this is what I love to do, and it's absolutely amazing. It's relaxing. I love it, and when I do it, see, a lot of times when people do stuff, they do it for the money. I do it because it's my passion. And I do it because I want to see my customers or my clients be fulfilled when they receive their cake or when they received their home decor item. I want them to feel the passion. Because you ever know when you put on someone's clothes and you say, oh, I can feel, it makes me feel good. And I heard someone say that during a webinar that I was just in. It's because of the love and the passion that they put into that particular item. And that's what I want my clients to feel. When they bite into my cake, I want them to feel the love and the passion that I put into the cake. When they see a piece of home decor in their home, I want them to say, oh my God, I love showcasing this piece. I love putting it out there because why? It came from Jaybird Collections, So that's I don't do it for the money. I do it because it's creative and because it's a passion of mine.
So first, let's talk about the baking, right? Because one of my favorite flavors that Tamika has, and I swear every time I see her, I'm like, you got some, is her champagne flavored cakes. It's like champagne. It's like pink champagne. Yeah, pink champagne. And I think the first time I ever had it was when you put it into a cake pop. Yes. And I swear, I got hooked fast. And I don't think I've seen anyone else make that flavor. And if they did, it wasn't memorable to the point where I could compare it to Tamika. Right. Just saying.
You always said that.
I love her pink champagne. So if you guys put an order in, I'm just saying, I know people like their vanillas and chocolates, and that's great. But try the pink champagne. It's like, it's really good, and it's like luxury in your mouth.
Ooh. Tasty.
Hello. So that's cool. So I know you said with the baking that you practiced for a month and then that's how you got your first client. And what challenges did you face trying to just not go from practicing to setting it off?
Okay, so my first client came by word of mouth. And it was actually a friend of mine. She was like, I know that you're just starting out. I have referred someone to you. So I'm like, okay. And I was so nervous. Reason being because this was like my first cake and I'm just now getting started. One of the challenges, even with that, and until this day, and I have to I'm weaning myself off of it, but I still have to get to that point, is trying to compare myself to someone else. Because we all have skin in the game. In your area, my area, we all have skin in the game. It's just that God has given us different techniques for the same gift. So like you could do paint pour and I could do paint pour, and then we're still in the same game, but your technique may be different from my technique. Everybody's technique is different. Every person's talent is different. So that was one of the challenges that I had to get over. Fear was another challenge that I had to get over because I had to know that fear and faith do not work together. They don't work together. So you can't have faith and fear at the same time, because fear will allow you to be paralyzed and stagnant in an area where you don't want to be, where faith will allow you to put on a parachute and just jump. So I'm getting to the point in my life right now where I'm saying, you know what, I have to put that spirit of fear back. I have to put it in a box and mail it to somewhere I don't even want it to come back. I have to put on my parachute and say, now's the time for me to jump. And that's exactly what I did with Jaybird Collections. I just literally stepped out and I just jumped out. And what launched me was, again, Karen Baxter. She has been a huge inspiration to me. Because when I first started doing it, I was comparing myself to everyone else. And it was at a point in my life, and I think me and you had talked about it, where I felt like I was worthless. And I felt like I was a nobody, or I felt like that I couldn't make it, or I couldn't do it, or, why did God give me this gift and I feel like it's not manifesting? We all have to know that just like seasons, everything has a season to it. Everything has a time and a purpose. I feel like now is my time to step into something new and to launch out. Because in the Bible, launch out to the deep. Draw out your net so you could catch. So if you don't launch out and you don't draw out your net to make a catch, you're not gonna catch anything. So you have to launch out and throw your net out on faith, because the Bible says faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. You may not see it, but you have the faith to know that it's there. So and I say that to say, just like before I had my son, I knew I was gonna have a boy. This was 3 years before I had him. Wasn't pregnant. Went and bought boy clothes. But I was ready, so when he came, I had the stuff for him. And that's how we kind of have to prepare ourselves, for what God wants to do in us. But just piggybacking, faith and fear can't work together. It's like oil and water, it just doesn't mix. So it's either you're going to have the faith to do it or the fear to stay where you're at. And a lot of times we stay in fear because we're comfortable and we're familiar with that place.
Okay. How do you... I know you said that they don't mix well, but because it's natural to be fearful.
Of course, absolutely.
So, and I know that you say it doesn't mix well, but when you do get that sense of fear, how do you overcome that? I know your faith helps, but...
Oh, absolutely. Faith does help, but the thing is your mind. You have to have the mindset. And sometimes our minds makes us see things that are not really a reality. So you have to have the mindset to change your mind and say, you know what? I'm not going to allow this to overtake me anymore. I'm just going to take it one day at a time and just step out on faith. Not saying that you have to, sometimes in a situation, you just may have to jump off the cliff and just say, Lord, catch me. That it is what it is, depending on the situation. But you have to do it like baby steps, step by step by step. And the more faith you have and you take it one step a day at a time, the more bolder you become. The more stronger you become, the more persistent you become in what you want to do. So it's either you're going to be fearful and stay back, or you're going to have the mindset and say, you know what, whatever the enemy or the devil or whatever, however you want to see it, whatever is blocking me and whatever is trying to make me see something that I can't see, I have to put that to the side and say, you know what, no, I see where I'm going, because I'm just going to tell you for me, by doing this, in the beginning, I was like, I can't do this. I can't. But then I said, no, God is giving me the gift. I'm not going to sit on it. So I had to put my fear aside and see the vision and see myself as, you know what? I am a millionaire. I am a money maker. I'm taking my stuff to the bank. I'm not going to sit here and be stagnant anymore. So even though I said it, it was sometimes where I said it and didn't do it. But the thing is, it almost like you have to be like a broken record to yourself. Yeah. You have to kind of keep repeating it and repeating it and repeating it, because the more you repeat stuff, the more you start to believe it. Just like if you say, I'm nothing, I will never be nothing, and the more you say it, the more you begin to believe it.
And ladies and gentlemen, you say that.
Yes,
you say that.
All said it.
And I'm glad that you're touching up on it, because I feel like we're having a super real conversation.
Yes, absolutely.
It's refreshing to hear that faith is important, but vision is too. And I wrote that down. I was like, what she's saying is vision over fear. And I'm glad you said that because I become fearful. I mean, you know the projects I've been working on and what I have coming, and I am scared.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it's like I know I'm good at it. I know I can do it. But the fear, and you know what's weird? It's like the fear of acceptance in the sense where people like it.
Exactly.
The producer has told me so many times, he's like, but who cares if they don't?
Right.
He's like, you create because you want to create.
And the thing is, you're not here to please everybody.
Right.
And I'm going to keep saying her name. Her name is Karen Baxter. I'm going to keep saying her name. Shout
out to Karen Baxter.
Yes, shout out to Karen Baxter because she's like my BFF in my head. And she, when I tell you, she literally be snatching my edges.
Yeah.
And I literally, if she had snatched any more edges, I really would have had to do a quick weave in my head. This is all me. But I'm saying I would have had to do a quick weave coming up in here because she's about getting your stuff in order, getting your business in order, and getting it together. She labels herself as a Sour Patch Kid. She's sweet, but then she's a little tart. She get up, So I thank God for her because it's like it's like whether she knows it or not, she's been pushing me, pushing me to move forward. Pushing me to get out of my comfort zone because.
Unknowingly. She don't know that.
Right. Unknowingly. But the thing is, it's like I'm starting to see for myself, this is not where I'm supposed to be. I'm not supposed to be mediocre. I'm not supposed to be in my house just creating and just putting it on Instagram and that's it. No, I'm supposed to be in stores. I'm supposed to be on TV. I'm supposed to be on somebody's billboard or some packaging, you know? So now that I have that mindset, now... And the Bible says in the book of Nehemiah, write the vision and make it plain. So you write, it doesn't have to be extensive. You just write your vision. Say, okay, Lord, this is the type of, business I want. I need a warehouse. This is the type of warehouse that I want. This is who I want to go to. Okay, God, I'm writing it down. Now you show me what I need to do on how to get there. Because God will speak to you and give you step-by-step instructions on what to do. And He will put people in your life. See, there are times when the circle of people that you're around, sometimes you have to break that circle and be around people that are going to push you to where you need to be. Because there are people that are in your circle that they may not like what you do. They may want you to stay where you are because they don't want to better themselves. But that's not who you are, and that's not where you're supposed to be. So sometimes you have to break away. It may hurt. It may be like, I just feel like I got hit by Holyfield. But you know what? Put on your big girl drawers, dust yourself, find a hill and get over it, and you move on. You move on. Because like every season changes, your circle must change. And sometimes your circle will be yourself for a period of time because God may have you in a place and in a season where it's just about you and Him.
Sometimes your circle will be yourself. For real. And
Absolutely.
And I... Can I just shout out all the women who unknowingly motivate us and inspire us? That's why it's important. Yep. I'm not saying that you got to live a perfect life or be perfect. We're not talking about perfection here.
Absolutely
we never said anything about
Nobody's
perfection.
Perfect.
What we're telling you is that if you live your truth and you embrace who you are and your gifts and you understand that you were not made to be mediocre and you express that in your life, with your actions, how you live, how you do things, and how you talk about things.
Right.
What's her name? Karen Baxter?
Karen Baxter.
She has no idea that Tamika follows her or admires her or is motivated and inspired by her. She has no idea. Karen Baxter lives her truth. And because she lives her truth and she embraces her truth and she advocates for her truth, she inspires someone else. And that's the power of women empowerment.
Exactly.
It's great to have healthy competition. I'm not the only female Latina podcaster, but I am the only female Linda Rosa.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
And you be the best Linda Rosa that you can be.
Hello.
Nobody else can be you except for you because when God made you, He broke the mold. So then I hope He did. That's just like with all of us. All of us were made special, and that's what we have to realize. Once we get over, and it even goes back generations. It goes back to when you were a child. Your mom could have spoken something over you. Your dad could have spoken something over you. Like, I can distinctly remember, like, when I graduated high school, like, I wanted to buy a house, fix it, and sell it. This was before,
TLC
and Home Improvement came.
I love that channel. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna be on there one day.
Yeah, the what is it? The brothers,
the Property Brothers,
all of them. I love watching people buy and sell.
Yep. I'm gonna be on there staging houses.
I see you. Give me what your definition of what women empowerment means, and why do you think it's important? Period. Is it important to you?
Oh, absolutely. It's very important, especially in the African American community.
Talk about
because I feel like in the African American community, a lot of sisters try to step on each other's toes, and we are like a minority. So I feel as though, like, when we come together, we're more powerful together than we are apart. And being together as, empowering women, we become stronger. We don't feel like we're being beaten. We don't feel like we're being put down. We don't feel like we're being, cast away or put aside. We feel like we're being, pushed up to the forefront. So, women empowerment, I believe strongly in that. I believe it's definitely important for us, to support each other. Whether it's hair, whether it's nails, whether it's, your podcast, whether it's me doing the paint pours, whether it's real estate or whatever. I feel like it's very important to support one another, because at the same time, not only in the African American community or Latina community, women as a whole is like considered a minority. So if we come together and support one another, we can become more powerful. Like, look at Joe Biden. Kamala Harris. Like, who would have thought that you see a woman who's a minority running as a for vice president? Like, that's like a huge that's another huge obstacle besides Barack Obama. You know what I mean? So I really believe that if we come together and stick together, it'll be a greater sisterhood.
Yeah, shout out to Michelle Obama.
That's my other BFF in my head. And Michelle.
Yes.
But I think it's really, really important that we come together, we rally for one another, and be the backbone for your sister. To push her and say, you know what? Despite everything you've been through, despite of whatever he said, she said, your parents said, or whatever was spoken over your life, you can break that and you can move forward and do the God-given thing that God has assigned you to do. Like, I know, like, this is one of my platforms, but I know that there are more gifts in me that I haven't even tapped into yet. She's like the Renaissance woman in 2020. I swear to you, she does nails too. How did I forget that? Yeah,
she does nails. She did her own hair. Like, it's just like, to me, it's literally, I can't express how it's an honor, because
I'm an all-in-one package.
And this is not bragging or exaggerating.
Right.
Everything that Tamika is talking about, there is proof.
Absolutely.
She has a nails, baking, home decor, etc. And the thing is, it's like, I don't doubt it. You know why? Because she delivers, bro. Tamika delivers. Slogan.
Right.
Literally.
That's my slogan now.
You know what I'm saying? Like, she does. When she tells you she's gonna deliver, she gonna deliver. And honey, and the reason why I love what you said about women empowerment is because I do think that in some instances, women empowerment doesn't exist. It's more like a crabs in a barrel.
Exactly.
Everyone's trying to. And this
everybody's
is the thing.
Always pulling.
Yeah, and this is the thing, ladies. Believe it or not, I follow other female podcasters. We compliment each other. Absolutely. And you know what's really weird? So I noticed this lately, as I've been going through, and I'm a true believer in women empowerment. So what I've been doing, and I don't want to say like it's a practice, it's just more, I'm making it like a normalcy thing, like a normal thing for me to do, is I'll go to a page, and if I see a female making moves, I will compliment her. I'm gonna shout you out.
I'm gonna say this because that's one thing we do not do. We do not compliment each other.
Girl.
And I'm big on girl, you did that. Girl, yes, honey. honey, yes, you did that to the gods. Like, I'm huge. I'm big. You know why? Because when you empower that woman may have done something where in her heart she felt as though it wasn't good. But when I look at it, I'm like, yes, honey, yes. And that will encourage her to go further and do what she needs to do.
You just took it right out of my mouth.
Yep.
This is a perfect example. Shout out to Jody, Stay Ready movement. And one of the things she said, she was like, yo, you pushed me to get on the movement, because she started a brand and a movement and everything. And from the moment she started, I was with it. I was like, because if you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready.
That's right.
And the symbol that she has on it, she's a beautiful black woman, and she's very artistic and religious as well. She's very faithful. But it kind of caught me off guard a little bit, in a good way, but it did catch me off guard, and that's why I mentioned it. Because she said, I wasn't really on it like that. I didn't really think, like, everything you just said, she said it in her words. Like, she didn't think it was like, she didn't think she was doing the best she could, or if it was reaching. And I was like, you crazy. I've been watching you. I love this movement. And she was like, yo, that made me feel so good. And believe it or not, Tamika, she is not the first person that has come to me and said, oh my God, seriously, I'm honored. And I'm like, I'm glad you're honored, but I'm just telling you what I'm seeing. You may feel like what you delivered is not to the expectation that you had. But you don't know who else is looking. And the reason why I'm saying that is because it's happened to me. People, like you said, is an honor. And other people like, oh my God, I'm so happy you asked me to be on the show. I'm honored. And in my head, I'm like, you are? I was like, dude, I'm glad you gave me a few minutes. I'm glad you agreed. I'm glad you giving me an hour of your day. Like, it's an honor that you even considered being on the show. Because I have felt like that. Like, yeah, it's new. It's not getting a crazy following. I don't know if it's going to hit. And I keep talking about Michael, but I'm telling you, I would not be this far without his faith in me, man.
Right. Shout out to Michael.
Yeah, this dude believed in my dream before I knew what it was.
Right. And that's a lot of times, too, because you just said something, too. A lot of times people will believe in your dream before you even believe in it.
He did.
And sometimes it will be those people that will birth you out. Just like how a pastor is in church and they have other ministers that are underneath them, and they sit back and be like, oh my God, like, God really blessed me to have these ministers here. God will use someone to birth them out so that they can go forth to do whatever they need to do. You know what I mean?
Cry on the show.
So it's like, like, I can honestly say this woman right here has believed in me more than I have believed in myself. And it's been times where I was like, Belinda, like, I don't know, like, I just feel, she like, girl, bye, let me, get up, go, Tamika. And I'm like, no, Belinda. She's like,
let's go.
Let's get it done.
Because I see it. Yo, let me tell you something. My spirit never lie. I say this all the time. If I'm a reader of people, I am a spiritual reader of people. Not pro by certificate, just by blessing. And I'm telling you, there's something so big. I don't even know what it is, but you're about to hit it. You know what I mean? And I'm telling you, and this is the thing. This is why I respect you. Aside from that I love you, I respect you. Because you're humble about your doubts. You're humble about your fears. You're humble about your struggles. But you're humble about your faith.
Right.
You're strong about your faith. That's what I meant. You believe in your vision so much. And that even though you've had those moments, like every woman out there, stop acting like it's not real. We all know we go through it. Stop it.
Absolutely.
Stop acting like you don't go through these things. Stop acting like you don't doubt yourself. Stop acting like you've never had a moment like, man, I should just quit this. This ain't hitting. We've all had that. But I think that social media makes people feel like the only thing you could talk about, the only thing you
ratchetness.
Is ratchetness or the win.
Nothing is wrong with ratchetness sometimes.
It's cool.
But another thing that I heard Karen say is it's not, whatever you tend to the most or whatever you watch the most or listen to the most, that's what you become.
It's true.
So if you sit in the mirror and say, you know, I'm ugly, I'm this, I'm that, then that's what you're gonna that's what's gonna gravitate to you. See, things come to you based off of your spirit and your feelings and how you are on the inside. So if I'm saying like, oh, I'm a millionaire, like I'm gonna fake it till I make it. You know what I mean? Like I may not have it. I may have $5 in my account, but I'm walking like I got 10 million in my account. But it's eventually gonna gravitate to me. Why? Because I'm walking in it. I'm not walking where I was. I'm walking in what I'm about to become. And I say that, and I'm gonna say this because I think it was Thursday night after we had our Mindset Mogul cast. I was just sitting there and I just began to cry. I began to cry. And my son said to me, Mommy, what's wrong? And I just only thing that came out my mouth for about 10 minutes, I just kept saying, thank you, Lord. Lord Jesus, I thank you. I thank you. Because I felt like a power come over me and just was like, you know what? This is it. I hit the nail on the head. I found my niche. And like I could really do this. I can do this. So it was like I woke up Friday. I was refreshed. I had a mindset of like, okay, I need to get this done, because I'm no longer walking in what I'm saying I'm going to do. I'm walking in what I'm going to do. There's a difference. You can say what you're going to do all day, but if you don't do it, it's not going to get done.
Or take a step to it.
It's not going to get done. Like, I'm not going to have my warehouse overnight. I mean, I could. God could bless me tomorrow.
Hello.
And somebody could just say, you know what? I'm going to give you a warehouse and I want you to create these things every month. And, you know, then that'll be it, you know. But until then, I have to make steps to what I want so I can be where I want to be, you know.
I'm telling you, when you have a group of women that back you up, the feeling of that support is like no other. It's like you feel like I don't care if I fell down. I know I'm good.
Yeah, you feel like you could conquer.
Yeah,
anything.
I feel like I got power, and I'm not saying that you can't do things on your own because you have to do things on your own.
Absolutely.
I'm just saying, don't think you can do everything on your own. You can't.
And that's another thing that a lot of women think too, because I could do this. I don't need nobody to help me. No, we all need somebody to help us. You could be strong all you want, but every now and then you do need someone to help me. Like, and I'm slowly getting to that part where I'm saying, okay, you know what? I need help with this, or I need help with that, because I always thought for the longest, it's me. I have to do it.
Because you, in the best way, lived most of your life handling things on your own. You know what I mean? And I say that respectfully, in the sense that a lot of the things you have accomplished, you've done on your own.
Right.
So then, you get accustomed to that, but sometimes you got to step out of that comfort zone of being, of doing it alone.
Right, because it'll drain you.
Yeah.
It will absolutely drain you.
And you ever had a moment when, like, you actually did ask for help, and it was, like, easy, and you're like,
oh,
man.
Let me clutch my pearls. I could
have been did this.
I could have did this a long time ago. Like, hello.
So now we're going to talk a little bit about your current projects and what you're doing. So I know we showed you this.
Yes.
And I love. So and you got, okay, so she's got the cheese board right here, right?
Yes, I'm going to bring
And can I just tell you what luxury, like, I don't know. I see these things and I'm not bragging, yo. It just screams like, you ever had like some real good chocolate? Or it's just like creamy? Yeah, that's what it feels like to me. I feel like she's
We're not talking about Cadbury.
No. Like, it just feels like, oh my God. Wait, okay. It just feels like hers. Oh, my mic got a problem. Hold up. Her creations feel like rich milk chocolate. At like a luxury event, when you get that chocolate taste and a nice thing of champagne or wine, it's like okay, first of all, hello. Can we talk about these colors?
Yes. So purple is my favorite color.
I'm so excited.
Purple is the color of royalty, and I've always loved purple. So these are custom ceramic coasters.
Hold up, guys. I know whoever's listening to the podcast, I really want you guys to watch the YouTube channel, Late Night with Linda Rosa on YouTube. You guys have to see these. I'm gonna post pictures and things like that, you know, when the episode premieres, but I want you guys to really look at these.
Yes.
Sorry, go on.
No, it's okay. These are custom ceramic coasters that are in shades of purple, white, and gold. So I did a dark purple and like a light periwinkle purple, metallic gold, and white. So these are the ceramic coasters, and they're embellished with Swarovski crystals, regular crystals, and then you set them up as a showpiece. You could put it on your dining table, and set it like that. And then I also have the matching cheese board.
I didn't see this one. Hold on. Oh! I did not see that. Stop.
Yeah, I have the matching cheese board to go with the custom coasters. So if you wanted to purchase this as a set, this set would be $65.
Okay.
So
that's
if you wanted
price.
to purchase this as a set, the cheese board by itself would be $25, and then the coasters by itself would be $45.
Okay.
But together it'll be $65.
I love this. Oh my god. Okay, so when I mentioned the cheese board, I was looking at the green one that she brought to show us. I didn't know she had this one.
Yes.
Oh my god. God, ladies, seriously. Like, I feel like this one is really cute for like a date, like a ladies' night. Like, my girls are coming over and I need to show them how I cater. Hello.
Yes.
I love this.
And you can put like your slices of cheese, your grapes, as a showpiece on this.
Love that.
So it is food safe. And this is the other one, which
this is the one that I really love.
I call this Emerald City.
Oh, yeah. God, this. Yo, seriously? This is the one I've been looking at while she's talking. If she ever saw me look away, it's because I was looking at this one. Look, oh my God, qué bello, Dios mío, pero qué lindo, ¿verdad? Ay, Dios.
Ay, Dios mío.
What inspired? I noticed that you really love mixing gold. And by the way, the reason why I noticed is because gold is one of my favorite colors. This.
I don't know. Like, I mean, I do mix some with silvers, but for some reason, like, to me, gold just manifests as richness. It manifests as like a certain je ne sais quoi. Like it just.
No, it's true.
It's just
That's why I love gold. Right. That's why I love gold.
I can't put my put my finger on it, but it just it makes it more stunning. So this is another wine.
Oh, beautiful.
Butler set that I have. It's a pearl white that is has gold trim on it, and on the inside is gold leaf.
Beautiful, guys. Oh my god. Okay, first of all, white gold. You imagine adding this during like Christmas, during the holidays, and these are perfect, with some candles around it.
These are perfect for holiday gifts, and these are also perfect for if you want to do a gift for a wedding, if you want to do it for a birthday. These would be perfect gifts.
How much are these together?
These sets are $60.
Okay.
These are $60.
Okay. This is really beautiful, guys.
And not to mention that when you purchase this set, these sets come with wine glasses.
Ooh.
So when you purchase the wine Butler set, it comes with a set of champagne flutes or wine glasses.
Because I see that this has white, but there's also separate like...
It's like a separate layer.
Yes.
Yeah. It's like a white opal, and then there's like a pure white on the inside. Yeah.
There's like I want you guys to think that it's just all white. It's like a mixture.
It's like
mixture
a marble
of white.
Yeah, it's like a mixture of white opal, and then it has like
I love this.
Pure white, or like a bold white.
Are your hopes for the future? What projects do you want to start putting out in the future? What do you expect? What do you hope for?
Well, I hope to be a one-of-a-kind custom design artist. There are other custom design artists, but I want to be one of a kind. I want to be able to stand out. And I'm working toward a market where people want custom designs in their home. Not something where you can get from, your average store. But they say, you know what? Let me call Tamika because I know that she can customize me a 7-foot piece. That's my goal. That's where I want to go. And
before you keep going, so Tamika also hooked up her own desk.
Yes, I did.
So I know you guys go to her page.
Yes, I just want to.
Go ahead.
My page on Instagram is Jaybird Collections, Jaybird_Collections, and on Facebook it's Jaybird Collections, and my cake page is Sweet Lou's Cake Studio, both on Facebook and Instagram.
Yeah. So one of the first projects you had was the desktop, I would say, like the top of a whole desk.
Yes, it was like this size.
Yeah.
And I took a MDF board and I marbled it, customized it, because I wanted to make my office space something where I can go and say, okay,
and I want to be there.
Right, I want to be here and I feel comfortable here. So I did a custom pink marble design top for my desk, and I'm also being commissioned to do one for someone else.
Woo!
So I'm excited about that.
I was gonna ask you to do one. I actually want to order one. My desk is gray. It's like a beachy kind of like a rugged. I'll show you. But I was like, but the thing is like it's you have a white desk. But it went from being like a basic white desk to like a luxury.
Actually, it was like an old beat up cherry wood desk that I had. And then I took it and I painted it white and I put some crystal knobs on it. And I looked at it, I said, oh, this is nice. I said, but it's still missing something. It's missing me. So I went to my local retailer, got an MDF board, had them to cut it to size, and I went to town. And it took me about 5 days to do. And see, that's another thing. Like, you have to factor in your costs for custom work art. So, you have to factor in your time and how much, how long it takes. But it did take me about 5 days to do. And then 2 days to completely dry and cure. And I put it together, and I absolutely love working at my desk now.
So I have a question. Aside from making your own pieces, would you also in the future look like if you go to someone's house and they're like, oh, I really want to redo
interior design and
I want to redo my table, I want to redo something, would you go in there?
Yes, absolutely, because that's the next thing on my bucket list is to do interior design. Like I would love to do staging for homes.
Yes.
Staging for homes for sale.
Yes.
I would love to do staging for that. But yes, absolutely. If someone wants me to do if they commission me to do a custom piece, I would actually go to their home, look at the piece and say, okay, let's take measurements. Yeah. What do you like? Send me some color inspiration. Again, you just can't be vague and say, do my desk or do my wall.
And you know what's crazy? It's not like this is an event. This is like a forever piece. So
Absolutely.
you wanna have as much input as possible.
Right. Because it's not just gonna be, okay, I'm just gonna keep it for like 2 days or 3 days. Like, this is custom art that's going to be in your home forever until you decide that you want to change it to like a different color or whatever like that.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna lie, I would actually, before I would buy something new, I would consider redoing it, renovating it, and I think that would even.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I'm so big on DIY projects and home, like just renovating stuff, because you can take something as simple as a cheese board and make it look glamorous.
This is a regular wooden cheese board, like, and look how like beautiful it is. You know what I mean?
So I'm all about taking something and taking nothing and making it into something.
I love that. Okay.
Just like how God does with us. We feel like we're nothing, but He turns us into something. So that's what I love to do. I love to I'm like I said, I'm a DIY girl. Like,
and she is, because I feel like you've redone a lot of things in your own apartment aside from the desk, right?
Absolutely. I did the desk. I did a wall piece. Now, there is a particular company that I absolutely love. They are so expensive, but I made my own, and I was like, oh my God, I can literally do this. Instead of me paying $900,
like you saw a piece,
I saw a piece that I loved it, and I was like, instead of me paying $900 for it, I'm gonna do it myself. And I only paid how much did I pay? $60. See what
I'm saying?
60. See,
and all it does is you just call Tamika to take put your order in, and she'll tweak it to your liking, or like you said, you saw something that inspired you from somewhere, and you're like, look, I ain't got a G.
Right, exactly.
I don't got 1,000.
But I can make it look like a G. Right.
See, she'll make it look like a G. I'll make it feel like a G.
Right. Like another thing I want to do, like, I just see myself like having my own show one day.
I see it.
And saying, okay, let's go to the market and see what we can find. Yeah. And I'll take it home and I'm saying, okay, we're gonna work on this project. This is going to get my little saw, get the saw and stuff like that. Like,
and I could see you do that because this is the thing. You know what I love about your artistry, and then we'll get to the last question. What I love about is that you live it. It's not like Tamika said, yeah, I did this and I did that, and there's nothing to show for it.
Right.
Go to her page, and you will see her literally transform her space.
Right.
Her space.
Yeah.
You know, imagine what she would do with yours. It's like having an empty canvas every time.
Yeah, like my son had a dresser from my old bedroom set in his room. And I was like, oh my God, I need somewhere to put my sewing machine and stuff. He's like, well, Mommy, why don't you refinish it like you always do? And I'm like, okay. So I actually taught my son how to do it. And he sanded it, painted it, and everything. So he did that. And I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, yeah, shout out to my little Jaybird.
Yeah,
He's not so
he got a little
anymore.
mom in him. He got a little
Yeah, he's not so little anymore.
Oh, I know. Oh my God, he's growing.
Yeah.
He's like a little man.
Yeah, rock that snot box.
Listen, let me tell you something. Listen, we're protective of KBE kids.
Yes.
All right?
Very much so.
He's cute, but I'm watching. Tia Linda.
Right. But it's like I'm slowly, because I don't want to just keep my gift for myself.
Yeah.
When I become big and when I expand, you know, you got to speak things into existence.
Yes, absolutely.
When I become big, I'm going to need help. I'm going to need someone to take over the business. So why not anyone better than teaching my son?
Yeah.
You know?
And you know, you guys are extremely close.
Oh, absolutely.
And he would do anything for his mother.
Yeah,
so I think honestly, it's the perfect thing. It's perfect.
Absolutely.
You know, and the fact that you named it after him and it's a history behind it. I love that. I love
everything that I do. I like.
Is he your motivation?
He is, especially for this, because. And the reason why I named it after him, not only because when he was little, we used to call him Jaybird. He was like a little scrawny thing, but he has so much character.
He does.
He has he's so active, and he's so ambitious, and he's so talented. You know, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna name my collections after him because he inspires me to do this. Like I did a custom piece for him, some custom coasters. And they're red, black, and silver. And he was like, you know, he was like, why don't you do a men's collection? And I'm like, oh.
Ladies, listen, wouldn't you,
think about that.
Hold on, not even ladies, guys, let me tell you something. If a girl comes over and she sees like a man's collection, it's a good look.
Baby.
Honey.
Baby.
I would be like, cause you know what it is? There's nothing sexier than when a man takes his time.
Right.
You know what I mean? You took the time for this. And it's not even for us
to make your home
look good. So when you have company.
Right.
I don't know. He be thinking.
He my son, he thinks he be dropping some nuggets. So I was like,
because I think it's actually, and honestly, I think it would be really sexy to see like a dark collection, like a man collection.
I actually did a jewelry tray for someone, and it's black and gold. And I did gold quartz crystals and stuff on it, and it's a gold jewelry tray. I actually did that for a custom piece for a man.
So it's not even just for females. I know that this is beautiful and everything, but guys,
yeah, it'd be nice to sit your little Rolex on. No, I'm not gonna say little, because Rolex is not little. That's just like little. That's like somebody saying that a little Rolls Royce, but
yeah, it's not little. But so I know what you're saying. Sorry about that. Laid out, something to lay your jewelry down,
right? Your diamonds, your wedding ring.
Guys, I think it's hot. Like if I was dating somebody, or if I was getting to whatever, if I know a guy has like custom made things like this, and please don't assume that everything's gonna be so blingy. If it's for a man, you'll cater to that.
Right. And that's another thing. If you don't like bling, it's not okay. Right. It's not okay. It's okay. The thing about custom pieces is that they're one of a kind, and I customize it to your liking. So if you like bling, I add the bling. If you don't like bling, I won't add bling. You tell me what you like, and I'll work it out.
There you go. Now, for the last question, any advice for all starving artists, whether they're trying to get into what you're doing, or whether they're in a podcast, or whether they're painters, barbers, hairstylists, just starving artists like ourselves. Any advice you want to give them just
jump. Jump and go for it. Don't let nothing hold you back. Don't let fear hold you back. Don't let inconsistency hold you back. Just go for it. If you can see it, then you can reach it. If you can envision it, you can reach it. It's not going to be tangible yet, but in here, you know you can touch it. You can feel it. because it's always something that like for me, I just know something big is going to happen. It's like you can feel it. I would say, don't let fear bother you. Something my mom always told me, and this is when I was going to hair school, and I was like, oh, I can't do it. My mom said, remember what I told you when you got your license. And I'm use it with hair. She said, don't let the hair intimidate you. You intimidate the hair. Don't let anything intimidate you. You can always say, I can't do it, but there's always a way. So you just reach out and say, you know what? I may not be able to do it this way. Let me see if there's a different way that I can go about it to get the same result. So don't let anything intimidate you. You intimidate it.
Vision over fear.
Right.
There you go. Advice for all starving artists: vision over fear.
And just go for it.
There you go.
Just jump.
Before we end the show,
yes,
I know you mentioned it before, but just let us know your pages, where to reach you, how to contact you, all that good stuff, and we'll end it right there.
Okay. So for cakes, it's Sweet Lou's Cake Studio, and you can reach me on Facebook and Instagram, and also through email at sweetlooscakestudio@gmail.com. The other business, Jaybird Collections. On Instagram, it's Jaybird_collections. And on Facebook, it's just Jaybird Collections. And you can reach me there for pricing and information, Jaybird_collections@gmail.com.
Boom. Now you got it. And I will also have this information on my page, so you guys can just click on the link and go directly to whichever one you like, or both. And and get you a piece. Get you a piece like I got me a piece. Hello.
I have a surprise. So what I would like to do is I would like to do a giveaway.
Okay.
So I would like to do a giveaway on one of my custom pieces. Let me see which one I'm going to do. I think I'm going to do this green cheese board.
Yes.
I'm going to do a giveaway. So the giveaway would be, you have to go to Jaybird Collections and Sweet Lou's Cake Studio and your page to like it.
Okay.
And then we can go from there. We could pick a winner.
Okay. Listen.
On Instagram and Facebook, you have to like it.
And it's going to be right on time for the holidays.
Yes.
Right on time.
Absolutely.
So you can get it as a gift, or you can get it for your house.
Yep.
Or whatever the case. Boom. Oh, I'm excited. So guys, listen. Like she said, go to my page, like it. And what else?
Jaybird Collections and Sweet Lou's Cake Studio. And also tag 2 friends.
Okay. So like it on my page, tag 2 friends, go to Jaybird Collections on IG and get on it. Listen, and let me tell you, this is not the only one she's gonna make, but this is the one you can get. And I'm telling you,
This will be the giveaway piece.
This is the giveaway piece, and I love it because I feel like this is great for whether it's a gift, whether it's decor, whatever it is.
Yep.
Bomb. And you know you want a cheese board. It's like the thing right now. You know that, right? Everybody's doing their own cheese board. It's like the thing. The prettier, the better. You know what? And you know what I like about this one? It's cute, and it's small, and it's quick. This is like more like the pass around cheese board. You know what I'm saying?
You just put your crackers and cheese.
Hello. You imagine me walking with it. Quiero una galleta. Un pedacito. Quiero un quesito. Un quesito. I love it. Like cheese. I love it. So, oh my God. Okay, so thank you, Mama, for being on the show.
Thank you for having me.
I feel
it's
like
been great.
You inspired me. You given me more faith. You made me cry. I am not soft.
I didn't mean to do that.
No, but your spirit is everything. And I know for a fact people are going to feel what I'm saying. And I cannot wait to see what else you create. Seriously. So you guys make sure you follow.
Yes.
We're going to have the giveaway. Do not forget. Make sure if you're listening to the podcast or you're watching on the YouTube, we got a giveaway. Stay tuned for the details. And that's it. Shout out to Tamika. Hello. Woo-hoo. So thank you guys for joining me today. I'm so happy you're here and listening. Remember to subscribe to YouTube and send me your questions and your comments to latenightwithlindarosa@gmail.com. Please be sure to follow me on Instagram, Facebook. The link is in our bio on Instagram. Just click on it and it'll take you to Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Spotify, you name it, I'm on it, you'll get it. And don't forget my girl, Evie.
Candid Creations on Instagram. Go ahead and give it a little follow.
Yes, I wish you guys the very best this week. I hope you have a wonderful day and that tomorrow is even better. And I'll catch you next time.